Yo! That was backwards. I meant yo! Today, fucking hell. Today I decided to make a video to talk about mastering the fundamentals, or at least working on them before you decide to look at the details. Now, I'll name this video. I have no idea what to name this video. I guess I'll think about it in the future. So, what I mean by mastering the fundamentals is pretty simple actually. Imagine a person that is trying to lose weight. He is currently very absurdly overweight and actually doesn't work out, doesn't pay attention to what he eats or anything. He's at level 0, let's say, when it comes to fitness level. Now that person happens to hear about a specific kind of, let's call it lunch, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you eat this specific thing at this time, you will end up losing weight or making your metabolism faster or whatever. Now the problem here is pretty straightforward. This person doesn't have anything else in line. He doesn't know what he must eat, he doesn't know when to work out or what to do in his workouts. He generally has a very bad relationship with his fitness, and instead of focusing on those things, which are the absolute basics, where like there is nothing more basic than watching what you have to eat, right? And instead of doing this, he decides that he has to focus on that one detail because it will save his life. He will burn fat magically or something, I don't know. So the same thing applies to when you're trying to build something like a business or anything where you have to put a substantial amount of work in actually. So for me, let's say, trying to build a digital marketing / video marketing business / agency, I don't only have to know how to edit and like how to write a good copy, which is, they're both very important things and they have to be looked at diligently before I start making any projects or anything. But I also have to look at the backstage, let's say, skills that no one really talks about, which is sales, it's marketing, it's relationships, it's how I can get through to a person's emotions, which goes under sales, I guess. But you get my point. You can't expect that you will start anything not having built a strong foundation and just succeed because you suddenly know how to do it. You won't know how to do it if there is no underground infrastructure. There has to be a long way under the ground where the building stays stable, right? Now this video is turning out to be quite small because it is a problem that I needed to add to my series, but it's not anything complicated. I don't want you focusing on things that don't really matter at the moment, like the first video I had made, like the future problems. If you focus on things that aren't there yet, you won't get anywhere. You won't even get to the problem that you are worried about currently. So for instance, let's go for me now because there is actually no one that watches the video anyway, so let's go for me and say I just made my website, I finished it, I wrote my copy, it seems to be pretty well written from what I can say. I finished my logo, made with AI of course, because I know nothing of graphic designing, and now I'm at the spot where soon enough I'll have to start outreaching. If I hadn't studied, if I hadn't done my homework before creating the website, the logo, the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook and all that, and I just decided to start outreaching to people just like, hey, do you want to work together? Well, that wouldn't go that well for me, would it? Now, we don't know that it will go well for me because we haven't yet done it, but I like my chances when I know actually how to write an email, how to talk on the phone. It's skills that I might be a little nervous about because I don't have the experience on them, but by studying as much as I possibly can, I'll probably up my chances of succeeding earlier. So cold calling, email writing, DMs, there are many ways of outreaching to people, but you have to know how to do it so that you don't creep them out, you don't sound salesy, you don't come out as needy, which is very important because people don't respect you that way. So all that contributes to what I talked about earlier, studying before you decide to do anything. I studied marketing, I studied sales, I watched videos on everything, I listened to very popular salesmen who are very successful anyway, and right now I'm at a point where I think I might be able to actually do this and move forward and actually make something out of nothing, which was my point all along, even though I had my doubts, as did everyone else that actually were negative with me and told me that it wasn't gonna work. And honestly, even if it doesn't work now, even if the whole project I'm working on doesn't work, it honestly doesn't matter because I'll just find something else. There are opportunities everywhere, every day another one. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that you don't give up, because ultimately you can't fail if you don't give up. Failure doesn't exist until you have given up, because with every setback, let's call it, you only get a lesson. You only find out why it didn't work, so you might make it work in the future with a different thing. That's honestly a very simple and very logical and efficient, I'd call it, way of seeing things, because in our line of work we have to be able to manipulate our entire reality and mind so that we give ourselves the best possible chances of winning. No, your mind is a tricky thing, it can play tricks on you, but if you work on it, you'll master it. Just like the basics that you have to master in order to succeed later. That's all I had to say. It was honestly a pretty straightforward video. I think you got everything I said, and that's what I want. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I'll see you at the next one.